You won't believe it, I found the Bible, and through that I found God. Check it out. Right, how he's going there. I'm just going to do a little book review because, as you found out, I found God. I found the Bible. Through the Bible, I found God, and I just think everyone needs to read about Him and His visions. So, before we get too far into this is the book. By one only, Mike Harrison, who for the sake of this story is God. A lot of you know that earlier in the year I wrote a bit of an article, so I did a bit of my own research on that through various other sources which I noted in that article. And that was earlier in the year when I wrote that article, and since then, only in the last couple of months, I got onto this book, and it was just like a slap in the face. It was like, whoa, no way, like all my thoughts and theories have been actually thought about, written about and published. And it's all there in front of me. And there's no real coincidence that that guy was ahead of his time, and he knew exactly what he was dealing with. So I think it's crucial timing that anyone that's legitimately keen about the future of deer shooting, especially in a national park, should jump on the link and check out this book for their own good, and just be open-minded about it. Yeah, so my goal is pretty much just put stuff out there that's already out there. You guys are starting to pick up on what I'm putting down, so it would be just nicer and more refreshing to see it come from someone with a lot more weight in the deer hunting community. And this is stuff from 10, 20 years ago. So this guy, yeah, he was ahead of his time, and he had a vision that wanted to ensure there was a future of deer hunting in Victoria. And I just want to highlight the fact that in that time, nothing has changed. A little bit of land has opened up, but we argue that all the land should be opened up to legal hunting. Yet the amount of illegal hunting continues to grow, all of which are deer shooters. Thanks for a great debate on Facebook the other morning, or discussion, turned into a bit of a debate, but it was really interesting just to see how close-minded some of these other fellas in the community are. And you guys that are on the same page, it's part of your job as the hunter to also express your side of that story to them, and not swing them, but encourage them to also reach out, check for many of the online sources available to them to read in the downtime, and to educate themselves on what it is that we're facing here, because there is a really big picture in it. So let's not get too jumbled up in all that. I'm going to get straight into this book, and this book is all about sambar deer. It covers everything from when the deer drop antlers, when they mate, when they rut, when the stags rut, what they do, what they eat, how they perceive humans. Touches on everything regarding sambar, and then it touches on hunting sambar. It has a few hunting stories. It has a lot of good photos, great photos. And then it also has quite important study on sambar deer, which we learn a lot from them, and it was invaluable the amount of info we did get from observing these deer in the Bunyip State Pen. And so with thanks to those guys, that's how we've become in this situation that we've taken for granted now. So to see the original sources and infos where they got that from, and to read it from the horse's mouth, it's a bit next level. Guys could bang on about this sort of stuff all the time online, and it doesn't really get to it doesn't really hit hard enough. But not everyone will know Mike Harrison, but he is quite a big dude in the deer hunting community from the last 50 years. Well respected man, obviously, and he had his own visions. And his own visions was to help the recreational shooter overall. And this book also goes into the whole politics side of everything. And Mike being one of the ADA guys, it's got a lot of information on this ADA. And if you pick up on what it used to be and how that really helped get us where we are today, then it's worth looking back on that and thinking that may be the way forward. So do yourself a favour, get a hold of this book, sit down, read it chapter by chapter, and then read it again. And just think about the past 20 years, or 10 years of your hunting, and then just think about the next 5 or 10 years of hunting if everything goes to plan the way it is currently, with that big Animal Welfare Act proposal, and the continuation of culling legal hunting areas and locking up other areas. Then later on you can discuss where the line should be drawn in sand, because there's got to be, if you want to cover every aspect of Victorian hunting, from meat hunters, trophy hunters, backpack hunters, hound hunters, spotlighters, thermals, private land protection, alpine environment protection, deer management, all this stuff. That's all their own little categories, and that's one thing we got to learn, or we're going to have to learn. Someone's going to have to stand up and stamp on some authority. So anyway, I won't bang on too much more. Thanks for checking it out. Hope you check this out. Seems to be that the ADA's PR button's a bit broken on all platforms, and it's not much out about all this shit. But definitely think about jumping on board with a hunting organisation, or a particular ADA if it's deer that you're concerned with. And go to some meetings and maybe sit in the shadows for a while, and then perhaps maybe one day you could be making some wise decisions on behalf of all recreational shooters. I'm just here to plant seeds. Cheers for watching. Till next time, keep it real. Hooroo.